Hi Jack, my name is David Milburn, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would I be doing this and what's in it for me? Well, my company's goal is to help local small businesses like yours. Oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. Sometimes the only hesitation they have to hiring someone is that they don't know who's an expert and who isn't. I've found by giving people an easy blueprint of actual things they can do to impact their businesses for free has resulted in some of those local business owners raising their hands and saying, I like you, David. Please do this for me. So, if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and you can see that I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or, if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan I gave you to do yourself, that works for me too. So now let me show you 3 things that will set your company above your competition and not waste any more of your time or mine. The first thing I want to go over is content. So Google doesn't just look at your site and automatically know what your company does and the services you offer. It actually sends out robots to read or crawl all this content that you see me highlighting here to categorize it and see search terms and that type of thing. So we want to make sure your site has more content than your competition, and not just what's on top of your site either. There's also things behind it, meta descriptions, meta tags, and you can see right here. So if we right click on a picture and look at save as, the name that pops up. So right now you've got this one saved. It's the name of your company, with professional roofing services, which is that's giving you some content. But one of the things that I would do is to get more pictures on here, and we would save them as keywords that we're going to look at here in a minute that people are actually searching for when they search for your company or search for the services you offer in this area. Well, what we've seen over the years, though, is Google likes to see between 1,000 to 1,500 words of content on your homepage. So these guys over here are one of the top competitors for you in your industry. They're the number one that pops up. If we look at an actual search, they're the first one that comes up in what we call the organic search. So what we want to do is look at their site and see what they've done correctly. So I have this tool that I have a paid subscription for called Ahrefs. What it does is gives me a sneak peek behind these websites and shows me, their traffic, their keywords, their backlinks. I'll talk more about backlinks later and explain that. But Ahrefs actually shows you that. So this is your site here, and I pulled it up, and you can see I'm looking at the keywords. So right now, it's only finding your site, these keywords are the only ones showing up, and you're not getting right now you're not getting any traffic from it. Okay, but what we can do is we can go to the competitor's website right here in Ahrefs. We can look at their keywords, and we can look at what they're being found for, and we can actually go out there and get these keywords. You can see here, with this particular keyword, they're getting 210 clicks, are being found 210 times a month for that. This is showing all the search terms and the position they're in and the amount of traffic they're getting from those search terms. So what we want to do is take those keywords and get them on your site more times than they're on the competition site. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, let's move on to the next visible section in a Google search. What I want to talk about is this thing called the Google Map Pack, or Maps. And this is, business's name, address, and phone number. And what we have here is what's called, the big 3, right? The 3 businesses that show up here. And everybody wants to be there. So I'm sure you're asking, well, how do I get to that spot? Okay, I'm going to explain it. So this has everything to do with these things we call citations. And you're probably saying, what's a citation? And a citation is simply this. It's your business's name, address, and phone number put out there on directories like Google, Places, Yahoo, Bing, Yelp, Yellowbook, HotFrog, all these places you probably have heard of. And it's really important that we get your exact business name, phone number, and address just like it's listed in Google. And it's really important because of this. It's important because it sends trust signals back to Google that you're an actual legitimate company, not some fly-by-night or somebody that just started. And by getting out on these directories and having list your name, address, and phone number, it starts to build up your popularity and your relevance with Google. And if you get enough of them, it starts pushing you into these top 3. They're really simple to go out and get, and you probably already have some for your site right now. I know that right now you're not in the top 3, and I'd also know that the top 3 nationwide average is 150 citations. So since you're not in the top 3, our goal would be to go out there and get not just 150 that the competition has, but to get 200, 250, and really blow them out of the water. That would guarantee moving you up into these top spots and really getting you a lot of traffic and a lot of clicks. So that's the second thing. The third thing I want to talk about is how do you get to the top of this organic search right here, right? If you look at any study, this is called search engine optimization, or SEO, or how you get to the top of these searches, right? So you want to be here because about 60% of the traffic, they skip the ads, right? They just push right down to these search results. And if you're at the top spots, they go to your website. So how do you get your website to the top of these results? Okay, so for that, I go back to my tool called Ahrefs, and that comes down to what we call backlinks, okay? And if I look here at the overview of your site, we can see now that you're sitting at 68 backlinks, which right now is not generating any traffic to your website, right? So again, let's go over and look at the competition, and we look at the overview there. We'll take a look at their backlinks, and they have 1.9 thousand backlinks, which is giving them about 1.9 thousand visits a month. So what is a backlink? Okay, well, I want you to think of backlinks as kind of a popularity contest when you were back in high school, and that's the way Google looks at it too. Like if you were a kid in high school that got the newest pair of Air Jordans, say, right, and you wear them to school. When you get there, you walk past the most popular group, and they stop you, right? They're pointing at your shoes. They're talking about how amazing they are. That's going to raise your popularity. So think of every single kid who pointed at your shoes as being a backlink online. Every single kid out there pointing and giving you that popularity. So what that means is we want all these websites, all these other popular kids pointing back to your site, and if we can get these other websites pointing back to you, then your site's going to become more popular. So right now your competition is more popular than you because they have these 1.9 thousand backlinks. Once again, it's the same as with citations. We don't want to get just the same number. We want to get that and then go beyond that. You're probably asking, well, how do I do that? Again, it's pretty easy. Inside this cool tool, this Ahrefs tool, I can actually click on the competitors' backlinks, and we can see where they're getting them from, and then we can go out and get them for yourself. So here I pulled up where they're getting their backlinks from, and this shows us the actual site. So we can go out there and work on building up the backlinks to your site by going after these. And let me show you how it actually works here. We can actually go, these are one of the sites that are linked back to that competitor. So if I hit Control F, and we search for the competitor HKC, you see it shows up 3 times. We go to that, we click on the link, takes it right back to their website, okay? And that's giving them that popularity, and it helps push them to the top of those search results. So in closing, we went over 3 things. Content. Your front page needs to have at least 1,500 words with the right keywords in it, and they can be behind pictures, in content, describing your services and all that type of thing. Citations. Most of the top 3 sites have about 150 of these. We want to go get you 200 to 250 to really beat out the competition by a landslide and move you up in the map pack. And then backlinks are linked using industry terms. You need more relevant sites pointing at you guys to show Google you are the authority, that you're the person that needs to be found for these searches. And if you implement these strategies today, you can be #1 across Google. So I bet you're wondering, what now? Well, you can either go with this information I provided today, and you can do this on your own, and I'm totally fine with that. However, if you want the most effective route and want to save yourself the time, you can give me a call at 502-554-1482, and we can talk more about how I can help you with this. Once again, my name is David Milburn, and my number is 502-554-1482. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.